Real quick before we dive in, if you're a regular here, consider pulling up a seat to the Patreon. The seat, the table, the kitchen. 3 tiers starting at just $5 a month. Built for the people who don't just listen, they feel it. Patreon.com/TMHF podcast show. Link is always in the show notes. Welcome to another episode of the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I am your host, Ed Porter. This is the place for food, music, and culture, and how they all connect.
Dude, I'm gonna watch it now. I think it's dope.
Welcome to another episode of the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I am your host, Ed Porter, and this is the destination for food, music, and culture, and how they all connect. My guest today is, first and foremost, is a friend of mine, and I say that with all the love in the world. This is a good dude. He's a very knowledgeable dude, and he has what I call one of those vibes you want to be around. And so we talked about doing this for a minute now, and I'm glad we are here to do it today. But before we get started and jump in, I have to attempt to pay this gentleman the respect he so greatly deserves, and I'm going to do it with this intro here. Today's guest is one of those hospitality voices who doesn't just talk about restaurants, he tells the truth about them. He has built rooms that become memories, rooms where people fall in love, break bread, argued over cocktails, discovered new flavors, and left like they belonged before they ever sat down. From the early days of Town Talk Diner to the strip club Meat and Fish, St. Dinette, Mucci's Italian, and now Niverland. He has helped shape the Twin Cities dining conversation with equal parts craft, candor, human, and refusal to fake the funk. But what makes him powerful isn't just the restaurants. It's the way he talks about hospitality as a living thing. Something emotional, fragile, cultural, economic, and deeply human. At this table, we always say food is more than just what's on the plate, and music is more than what comes out of the speakers. Food is what we consume, music is the vibration we live by, and today's guest has spent his life studying what people consume when they walk into a restaurant. Comfort, ego, attention, nostalgia, escape, identity, and sometimes the hard truth. Please welcome to the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show, Restaurateur, podcast provocateur, hospitality truth teller, and my friend, Mr. Tim Niver.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Dude. Thank you so much. You got me welled up a little bit. That's
the great thing about this platform is I get to really intentionally tell people that I revere and have genuine love for exactly how the world sees them.
Yeah.
And we very rarely get to absorb how we present to people. It's usually when it's some bullshit do we hear what people think, right? But never the things, all the things, all of the stuff that you do in the dark and all the things it takes up to be whoever you are and do the things you do. A lot of that goes unnoticed and unseen and unrecognized. And so it is, I think it's imperative that we need to absorb some of that shit and take a moment. As doers, we're so busy doing that we never really relish in the moment. Our parents used to say the small wins, right? There's no such thing as a small win. A win is a fucking win. And you have to collect as many as you can because the losses are going to be there for sure.
Yeah.
So
I think about tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I got to go tomorrow and I got to do it again. And
exactly.
It doesn't really rest. So it is hard to stop. I certainly love being recognized and feeling needed.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
you hit me good with that, dude. That's cool.
Absolutely.
I mean, great.
All right, so let's.
I can't imagine anybody writing that about me, honestly. But at the same time, I've been around, and I'm trying to be a good person.
Yeah,
trying.
Yeah,
trying to do it.
Here's the deal. So let's jump in. Before,
Cool.
you know, you had a wild, you know, hospitality journey.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into the resume, which is super duper extensive, I want to know this: what did restaurants give you emotionally before they ever gave you a career?
A sense of organization, a sense of purpose. They gave me, you know, like a way to be. Give me a way to be and something to put my attention on. I think that's how it started early. Mm-hmm. But emotionally, it was even before restaurants that I was connected to, like the idea of service and the idea of hospitality with my folks. And then I realized there's a profession upon which you can apply those skills.
Right.
So I emotionally connected to food and service and hospitality at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
The care we gave, you know, before we went out in the streets, the care I was given, the emotional attachment to what it is to like sit with family and eat and have it be a center when we had time to do that, when every family always did that, or always, not every family, but, you know, the kind of normalcy. And then I think the other emotional, once I got into restaurants, it was kind of the aspects of team and my response of, you know, continuing to serve like not only like others, but like the people I worked with. Mm-hmm. Like, so like I really believe that then I have some weird maybe attachment things, but the people I work with are kind of my best friends.
Absolutely. No.
And so like in the moment when we do things together that are hard like this, you know, I think those are those moments when you get busy and you talk about it and you know, when you're slow and you talk about whatever it is, I think, you know, I get emotionally connected to the idea, to the people. Mm-hmm. It just is like, and the differences amongst them. So it was really easy to connect kind of emotionally to the people I worked with. And I think, you know, the people in this industry are so unique and so kind of like, you know, some of us are misfits and some of us are, you know, wanderers and some of us are, you know,
all of us are misfits,
you know, right. But in a different way, right?
Exactly.
You
know? Yeah.
So it's really cool to have always really enjoyed the people that I work with.
It's the best. It's the absolute best part. Of it all.
Yeah.
Truly.
You know, a lot of people say don't work with people you love too, but I just think, how do you stop that from happening? You know, like how do you stop yourself from like loving a dude? You know, like I love this person, man. You know, like how do you connect?
I think the true savants in any medium, whatever career path it is, have to have a level of vulnerability. And when you have that level of vulnerability, it's hard to not lead with your heart. Yeah. So you know,
I understand how people can't do it like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't expect you to do it like me. That's fine. This is how I do it, Doc. Right. Like this is how I am, and it's my build.
Yeah. Absolutely. We are all a combination and a culmination of places and spaces we've been. We were just talking about off camera about, you know, the industry at large and culture being like the number one driver of good and or bad, you know, habits, let's call them. What has, and a lot of people get, you know, talk shit on, you know, fast-paced casual or quick service restaurants, but most of them have the culture dialed in. Whatever that culture is dialed in. What have you learned? What did you learn at McDonald's that you carry into what you do every day?
Yeah. I think it was, you know, I cooked, right? I didn't really work the front. I cooked. So just seeing, even the way I also emptied the truck, right? So like my first job at McDonald's was Sunday mornings, you'd get the truck and the truck would pull up for the week. And they shoot the conveyor belt and they're just whipping boxes at you. And you're like, oh, these. So you're like, boom, boom, boom. You know, this shelf over here. And then you're like behind and trying to just like physically catch up to the work. And then the truck comes out the other side with another conveyor belt towards the freezer outside. And they're just shooting boxes at you. Everyone has a code. Everyone has a stack. Everyone has a place for it to be and a reason. And if nothing else, McDonald's told me about Mies and how to have it all set so it's automatic. Because we were still kind of cooking then, right? So it was they'd fire a dozen six, which means dozen cheeseburgers or hamburgers, and then 6 Big Macs because it's double the burger. And like just fire a dozen six until I tell you to stop, you know. And we're like, and I clicked with that. I clicked with what the window had for me and then the tempo. What, you know, don't stop. Okay. Don't stop. So there's a lot there. I also have learned some things not to do. Like date the manager.
I'm sure that died many moons later, though. I'm sure there was some carryover in that. Listen, let's just say this. In the hospitality industry, you know it like I know it, and most people that are in it knows. It's nurses and doctors, okay? It's no different. It is what it is. It's hard to, and you know it's the wrong thing to do because you cannot escape that person if something ever goes awry. However, you spend 99% of your time with the same group of people. It's hard, again, for emotions to not bubble up. Good, bad, or indifferent, it's a thing. We've all done it. We've all had, everybody I know has had a nightmare story about it.
Hey, you learn.
Soft skills.
You learn. And but you're with people that you're also like have a shit ton in common with.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I found a lot of intrinsic qualities and the dancers of the night. We kept the same schedule, you know. So once you graduated from servers and hostesses, you move right to strippers. That's the next level. Wow. You don't work in the same building, but we keep the same hours.
Vegas did. Vegas did show me a bit of that. Now that
of course they did.
And honestly, in some of the best conversations and funnest times were with somebody who was entertaining me, and it was lovely and like so perfect and nice and even sweet. You know, maybe that's what I got out of it, but it happens the right way sometimes too. You know, love is. I think it's the most I think it should be, if it's not for you, it should be the most unstoppable force, and one that you let just wash over you completely. That's how I feel about love.
For sure.
I mean, love it, and there is no stopping it.
It is one of I call the big 4 universal languages, and unmistakable, and everybody knows what it feels like to feel that. However, we can't choose where the love is directed. That's where we run into issues. So, sometimes you love what you love, right? And it's not necessarily the thing. However, and that goes for everything, even this industry. Like I love it wholeheartedly. Even though, I mean, it is what it either it's in you or it's not. Like you can't fake it. We all say we want to, do something else. However, there's nothing else because nothing else will feed your soul.
There's a very appropriate feature that we all like really had to take into consideration in our industry. And we did it way too late. And we kind of made chefs celebrities and idols and put them up on these pedestals. And many of them were not ready or acting appropriately or had the tutelage where being non-toxic or inappropriate, and nobody's perfect, like you say, but, I think we've built on that change. And I it's so much cleaner and You know, like we don't hear every conversation at work, but it's just so easy to keep it away from work.
Yeah. No, for
It's
sure.
so easy to
It is yeah.
You can feel what you want, like you say, but it's so easy to keep it away from work. You know,
I agree.
Just,
I agree. But it takes a little bit of a lot of common sense, actually. So, and unfortunately, common sense is not a common thing.
Control.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Discipline is key.
Ugh.
Okay, we're gonna jump into a segment called Cold Truths. Here we go. Every flavor tells a story. Every story holds the truth. This is Cold Truths presented by Just Fruit Sorbet Atelier, the new standard in sorbet. Pure fruit, thoughtfully crafted, fruit at its most honest, chef-driven, small batch sorbets made with real fruit, organic ingredients, and flavors designed to hit like the perfect record at the perfect moment. It just does.
Cool.
So we're going to jump into a segment where
I think it's like, you know, the cold truths, like this is the fun part, the cold truths. How do you deliver the cold truth? Can you make it pretty? Can you say it so it doesn't?
Absolutely.
You know, like those are the things. Here's the cold truth, but I don't want it to hurt too bad.
Absolutely. Okay.
Dope.
So here, I'll give you this one because it's prettier because you just talked about pretty. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to, is this tempered properly? A little bit. Okay. So we're going to taste the sorbet. And then I'm going to ask you a question that is going to require, I know I'm going to get it anyway, but I'm going to just say it, require your 100% candor and honesty.
Okay.
Okay. So the flavors we have today are, and Gabe, I won't even ask you to guess because we know.
I think this is the first week I know.
Okay. So we have Cara orange and cacao.
No.
Cacao sorbet. It's a fair trade cacao.
I'm glad it's fair trade, Ed.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
No, it does. It's one of those words you hear that I never know.
But it's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's not a buzzword. It's a real thing. So no dairy. 100%. And Cara orange is a varietal of oranges. It's usually the pink flesh-colored ones.
This is my favorite one so far.
Okay, what do you want to know?
All right. What do you think about the sorbet? Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I want a little more. You ready?
Yeah.
Is there more? Is that it?
Yeah, I got more for you. I got tons for you.
Okay.
You can have as much as you
Okay.
want. You can have as much as you want. Okay, good. Is work-life balance realistic in hospitality, or is it mostly fantasy?
Well, you have to be good enough to run the ship well enough so that it can be a reality. If you're not in control of it, it'll be in control of you.
Well stated. Well stated. I think, like when you grow in tenure as well as in responsibility in the industry, somewhere along the lines, it's really not you. Usually, it's your outside sphere of influence, your circle. They think that the amount of time spent at the craft or what you're doing at work should dissipate. However, the higher you climb, the more your responsibility, and then the more your internal responsibility for not only what you're doing, but for the people that are connected to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a manager, and God forbid, as an owner, operator, the sense of for the good ones, the sense of responsibility you feel for every soul in that building is something that keeps you up at night. It can't help but do that if you really truly care. And most people don't get that.
Yeah. It is a living, breathing thing. Like the business is about the people who are helping you, have the business, that you can't do it without them. So the heartbeats, there's a lot of heartbeats, it's never just, nobody does this alone.
Right.
But, there's a point of, making sure while things are never really done, that you're at a place that you're in control of it, so that number one, that probably means that you're good, like flying over the battle. We don't, and being able to watch what's going on, confidently is really the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens like that can happen and you can still be in your business. You can kind of like be there and be like, yeah, assessing, this is handled. I'm extra.
Right. And
knowing it and being able to like step out of service like I have for the past couple of months to do a consulting gig, which benefits my business and my home. Mm-hmm. You have to, it's just important to be able to extend what you do and work some hours and understand what the drawbacks are to the job. Like, it could be this, like we got broken into or whatever, but like everything's just ongoing, but you have to be able to also separate and you have to have people help you do it. And while you're away, it should act like when you're there. Mm-hmm. And if you're not confident in that, you are probably sleeping less.
Absolutely. Okay.
Took me a minute to get there.
No. You landed the plane though. All right.
I'm going to land the plane now too.
All right. That was Cold Truths presented by Just Fruit Sorbet Atelier, where the flavors are cold, but the conversations are honest. For more info, head to www.justfruitsorbet.com. All right. Let's talk into, I like doing these parallels between food and music because so this is how this all came about. I don't even know if I ever told you this. Why this whole platform exists is, so I got into food to pay for studio time. I've always done music since I was a kid. How I always looked at the industry in ways that were associated to music. So how I remembered recipes, I would make songs out of them. And then looking at the structure of a perfectly crafted song, it's a lot of similarities between like baking with breads. So the building blocks of certain things are there. Now you can mix around the order of them, but they are still prevalent. Mm-hmm. You have to have those things. And so because of that, I like to give some parallels always where people might not see them, but then once you say it, it's like, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's there, it's glaring now. So, restaurants have a rhythm, right? So a diner rush has tempo, dining room has bass, treble, silence, chaos, and release. You can feel when a room is in pocket. You can damn sure feel when the whole band is off beat, right? What's the music of a great dining room, in your opinion?
I remarked a couple times when I was at St. Dinette, a couple services there, and more than a couple, but there were a few moments where I stopped and I said, this is the exact restaurant I dreamt about having. Because the music and the tempo of the guest seating and the tempo of the service and the way that everybody was on and everything just clicked and the steward was happy and the prep cook was happy and the 3-line cooks were happy and the expediter was kicking it out. You could see people kind of like rolling their eyes back in their heads because of flavor. The vibe was right. It was usually some sort of, like smooth, neo R&B or something like that. And just kind of like how things glide along in that moment. Recently, this consulting gig I'm doing, we went through so much chaos. We got to a weekday and then I had a pretty strong pre-shift meeting and I felt like we were locked in. I know it's funny to say because everybody says it, but I did. I felt like, all right, I'm on message, I'm on point. Mm-hmm. And then service happened and we're into it. It's about 6:30. Things are kind of clicking along and I'm looking around. I'm like, nobody's coming up to me for anything, So I stopped in the middle of the room and I'm just sort of in the middle of the room and I just looked around for a minute and I'm like, okay, this is it. Mm-hmm. So I went and got the chef. I went and got him. I said, bam, come on here. And I walked him out of the dining room. And I'm like, okay, just stand here for a minute. Be quiet. Look around. And he's like, what? I'm just like, watch the room.
Right.
And I'm like, that's it. I'm like, you got it. He's like, I got it. He kind of looked at me weird. I'm like, no, that's it.
Yeah.
This is how it should feel.
Absolutely.
And you know, we connected on it, but you know, it's kind of like why the hell am I standing out here? But I'm like, you got to see it.
Yeah.
You got to feel it. And there's a moment and you kind of, it's like going down it's not like a ride and you're on, whoa, yeah, that was it. Being able to stop and notify yourself that you're doing it.
Yeah. If food is what we consume and music is the vibration that drives us, what do you think people are truly consuming when they come to, let's say, Mucci's? And let me preface why I asked that question. I think, in my opinion, your superpower is in curating a vibe. Like, going to Mucci's feels like I'm in your living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's intentional. And
sure.
That's a harder thing to do.
And all my people can deliver. They're the best. There's a casual nature about the professionalism we offer.
And what I mean by that, when I say that, I mean I feel welcome into your home. So it's a transportation that happens, a teleportation that happens when you cross that threshold, and it's a vibe. And then God forbid I walk out to the patio. That's a whole nother thing. So that is it's
thanks.
Yeah, it's truly a feat that most places, and I'm not talking about decor, I'm not talking about aesthetics. It's a vibe. And if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. So
it's really cool. I look around in my own place. I'm like, oh my God, I got to fix that. I got to fix that. I got to fix that. But then the lights go down, the door opens, and my attention on some of those details goes away because we're just, welcoming people in, and that's real. It's kind of, hey, how you doing? It's real. This is a real interaction. I want you to have a good time. I don't need to be your buddy, but you're going to get real for me and I ain't changing it.
Right.
It has a personality. A persona, but it's not a person. Yes, I lead that. Yes, I offer that. I can show people how to make that feeling happen. They can or can't do it themselves. That's possible. People have said to me that, you can tell it's a Niver restaurant. And that's one of the nice compliments I've enjoyed, because that means that they know I'm there, but I'm not there.
Culture.
It's cool. That's a cool thing. And then I've been lucky enough to pick some of the shittiest spaces in the wildest locations with the weirdest facets, and offered what I felt fit on that palette. And the room gives me this, so I wasn't bucking what the room gave me. I went with what the room gave me.
Yeah.
And I have a brick building with a restaurant with no sign, open for 10 years. And it was because I couldn't afford it at the beginning. And now it's just like, should I put up a sign? I've been here 10 years. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. But I like telling the story.
No, it's a great story. And it's a real story.
Yeah. And it's still hard to afford shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like every day. But it's kind of, there is a thing I do.
Let me confirm to you, and I've said this to you before, so it's not the first time, but it's working. It does. It's really, no, it's really a thing. So like, it's a value add to be welcomed into a place where I know that I'm going to feel a way. Base. That's the thing.
We can talk about Mama's ragu being better than my Mama's ragu, or you didn't like this or that, but it's still like I'm still going to treat that moment with the same sincerity. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry that didn't work out. Like, like in the problems is like the opportunities, and I'm not saying that like a business thing, but it's like that's where you see who we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like we took care of that.
Yep. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
you know, we did enough too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
Yeah.
You know, so there's some honesty there too. Like I ain't going further than that
Yeah.
either. You know, we have our own boundaries. It's like so too small to like give on everything.
Right.
And I think that's still part of the hospitality.
Very true. Very true.
Because I think we just there's a certain amount you can give, and then there is a line.
It's a great segue into this. And now I'll preface this with, so I was a guest on Niver Neverland, and we had a great time.
Thank you.
As you will.
You're great.
And part of the conversation we were talking about crossing a river. All right. So there's a difference in rhythm in St. Paul versus Minneapolis. A glaring difference. And for whatever reason, there's this invisible force field in the middle of the Mississippi that keeps people from, it's a you know, one side enter. It's like the little spikes when you go to return the rental car. You know, don't back up.
It is. Oh, it's scary too. Like, can I actually drive over those?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so there's a difference in rhythm between the two. How would you describe the differences through food, though? As someone who's played in both sandboxes.
Cultural mix. There's more of a cultural mix in Minneapolis in a way, especially in the finer dining or like, you know, just the mix, right? You know, there's a couple, and then I think that just the depth overall, you just get more opportunity to be able to kind of cart around and go a bunch of places in Minneapolis. You know, it's a bigger city, and that is the obvious part of it. It's just bigger. I think the thing about St. Paul, though, is while it's different than Minneapolis, it doesn't mean it's any less than. Mm-hmm. And that this is a vibe that you should jump onto every once in a while.
I agree.
And I think it's a progressive city, leaning, you know, blue collar and kind of, there's a certain toughness in St. Paul. The neighborhoods are strong. People, the neighborhoods really care for each other. We see this in Minneapolis too. Shit, but you know, it's just in a more kind of calm way, right? It's just, but culinarily, you know, with aubergine and Gus and Muriel and Hyacinth describing, you know, that level of restaurant, we're really actually starting to become a nice little enclave where you can do the nicest things in kind of a more chill way. Like the people around you are more chill. Mm-hmm. It's not about see and be seen maybe as much. It's more about going to a place.
Right.
And so I think there's maybe more of charm in that kind of sincerity that St. Paul offers. That's a benefit and a difference.
I encourage people, and this is where.
That's only one level of restaurant. That's only Jones in the Park. You know, like I mean, there's everything has its own attitude, and it's very personal over here.
Absolutely. There's I found this, and you see, it was a hot button thing because there was
people reacted like
that was new. The shit went nuclear.
Yeah,
so,
it did. It literally did, and you know, it's surprising to me because I really like the difference. I understand that river is between us, but everything is really so close.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
it's really so close. So it's a bad excuse unless you live in Edina, then nothing's close.
There's no reason, and I think having the difference, it's New York City versus Westchester County. Mm-hmm. Yes, it feels different.
Yeah,
it definitely does. Sometimes I want that change of pace.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of times.
What are you looking for?
Yeah, exactly. So I want to, and that is okay. The level of quality doesn't diminish because you took a you jumped in the car. Yeah,
we have some of the best restaurants in this.
That's what I'm saying. So
Meritage. I mean,
the
let's go.
The thought process behind only planning your sandbox. That limiting mindset is just not for me. And so I always tell people to go venture out. People that live in an area and haven't surveyed within a 25-mile radius of their little group get
out there, Saints game,
go,
and then go eat somewhere, man. Like, there's the river is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful
down there, and it's a great city. Yeah. Don't be sitting on your couch like dumping on us.
We are going to help the cause. We're going to do some dinners. And we're going to and it's going to be a Minneapolis only on the other side of the river.
I think that's great.
I think it's a good thing. And we'll do the reverse too.
I think that's great.
We can spearhead this movement.
I love it.
Yeah. I'm all about it.
That's a great idea.
I'm with it.
Is that,
well,
go ahead,
what have you learned about class, race, and money and access through dining rooms?
You're burning up my material for my next episode. Listen, I'm going to tell you my answer. You can expect what you get by zip code. You can expect what you get where the entitlement and the privilege are used differently. It's easy to see. Like there's certain towns and certain places you know what you're going to get in terms of a guest. And oftentimes when the guest is on average, a little more wealthy, there's a different level of privilege that comes with that expectation. It's not necessarily all like cultured, but I really think, it's almost by zip code, you can tell the difference how people are going to act, what they're going to do, what they will do, what they'll eat, what they'll share with you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that a good answer?
No, that's the honest answer. and just so I asked that question to give people a little bit of insight, what a restaurateur thinks about before he even signs a lease. So these are things that this is already gone over. Like a smart person would the reason why Whole Foods are in certain places. Let's put it like that. So
A and B and C and D locations.
It all factors in. All right, I'm going to do something that you probably shy away from and run away from like the fucking plague. I'm going to talk about some of your accolades.
Let's go there.
I'm going to talk about some of your accolades because again, I think this is for anybody listening out there that maybe is just starting in the hospitality world, or it could be a seasoned vet and maybe is at a stalemate or thinking about what their next step is or whatever the case may be. I think a lot of insight could be had from talking about where you were, the things you've done, the things you've accomplished, and then where you're going. And the best thing we can do as someone who has dedicated their life to doing anything is to impart in 100% brevity all of the things, honestly. So, co-founder of Mucci's Italian. That's a James Beard Award semifinalist multiple times. And this is...
Oh, one time.
No.
One time.
One time?
One time.
One time. Okay.
One time. But it was like everything. It was really validating. Thank you.
Okay. For outstanding hospitality. So the reason why this is why that's a huge compliment.
Thank you, sir.
Co-founder of St. Dinette in the strip club Meat and Fish, two of the most influential restaurants in modern St. Paul dining history for sure. You help lead the revival of Town Talk Diner, one of Twin Cities' most iconic restaurants and cocktail destinations, a cocktail program that was off the chain. You're one of the most respected hospitality leaders in, I would say, the Midwest, but for sure in the Twin Cities. The host of Niver Niverland, which is one of the best, I believe, realist conversations between hospitality individuals that is in the market. You've done so many different and shit. You've had the helm of some of the most iconic restaurants in the country. I mean, some of the biggest and best. All of those things. When you think about all the things that you have done and accomplished, and I know you don't. I know you don't think about you don't think about it in that way as far as accomplishment. When all of those different things, the future of leadership for you and how you view what the next level is for yourself and for the people that are on this journey with you. How do you internalize where you were, where you are, and where you want to be?
Well, I did exactly what I wanted to do, exactly when I wanted to fucking do it. I have that privilege. So where I was is everything to where I am. And those are all building blocks. Yesterday was a building block. You know, like it's a big, tall brick building, and we're lugging those bricks to the top now. So where I'm going is still unknown, but I'm going to go wherever the fuck I want to go, and I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Mm-hmm. I can do more than I've done, and I want to do something else. I'm still understanding myself and all the things that it takes to find the path, you know, at whatever age you're on. There's still a path. There's still a way to walk. You can't lean on what you've done, in my opinion. It just helps prop up where you're going. Right. So for me, I see a lot more and a lot different. I see travel. I see, you know, I don't see opening more restaurants at the moment, but that's not because I don't want to do it. I have so many burning ideas in my head, right? So maybe focusing that with somebody.
Okay.
But I really like where I'm at. I got to take some time off last year and not have to do it as much, in a weird twist of like after closure not being financially ruined, and I had a moment to gather myself. And what I realized is that I was in some pieces, but also that I, you know, like I was able to look at each of those pieces, kind of understand how I was going to, even though I'm rebuild it again, right? So looking ahead is really interesting for me. I don't know, but I'm having fun kind of picking and choosing with whom,
absolutely,
and where, and why. And that feels good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You've had concepts that hit, concepts that closed, and concepts that became part of Twin City lore. Which one taught you the most?
I think they all hit. I think they were all excellent restaurants. I think they all hit. Mm-hmm. I think I didn't open up a bad restaurant. I think what happens is sometimes, you know, Maven is the best example of the worst type of failure because it happened so quickly. But that restaurant was so fucking cool. I loved the food. I loved the chefs. I loved the people we worked with. But the way that just rolled out and the timing of everything was just off. Sometimes
you're ahead of the curve, right? And so before your time. Aquavit is one of those things. Yeah, like that was it was way ahead of its. Similarly, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was way ahead of its time. For now, it would kill, but it would slaughter right now. Yeah, so it's a wild ride, man. I think you can't like rest in. Successes are built on failures. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so. You know, and while actually after that things kind of diminished for me, like I had to pivot quick and save it with Mucci, like a Trattoria Mucci, mm-hmm. which is, you know, the great uptown version of that. And we were just getting clicking, and then COVID hit, you know. So there's some like unbelievably wild shit that goes on while you're doing an unbelievably wild industry, like opening up a restaurant. And it did code me a little bit towards, okay, you know, caution and understanding what's coming up and what your exposure is. And then you think about physical longevity, you know, what your body's going to be able to produce, you know, like I am maxed right now.
Right.
I am maxed. But also, you know, I get to fight hard.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the beauty in the fact that you do get to, you know, you get to throw those punches.
I do.
Yeah, and
I'm in the ring every day, dude.
Absolutely.
I think I've thrown myself right into the fire.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know. Currently, I had no idea what I was going to be doing. I did, you know, like I did.
Yeah.
But also, like, holy shit. You know what that taught me, like going into a situation that I did not, that I had no real part of creating, you know, and having the lack of financial risk over my head, you know, and trying to find, you know, like a center and meeting people at the same time as you're like, you know, trying to get, you know, 170 covers and 95 minutes, you know, seated and fed. You know, I done some shit, man. I done some shit. I'm still doing it. Like, that's what I say to them. I'm like, I hear you, servers, you know, because I do it.
Right.
And you see me at your tables. I cleared that shit. I cleared that shit. I cleared that shit. I cleared that shit. I'm not paying you to watch me do it.
Right.
You know, but I'll do it for you.
Right.
Because that's why we don't go down.
100%.
We don't go down.
100%. 100%. You've gone on record a numerous amount of times stating that the restaurant industry at large is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
What about that trouble do most people just don't believe or
Ignore?
understand? Yes.
Oh, believe it. Can you say most people you mean outside of the industry?
A little bit of both, because
Okay.
some, you know, a lot of people are looking at, you know, what's going on through rose-colored glasses,
Sure.
not understanding or the brevity of the situation.
I've always believed if you're good, you'll be okay. And I still believe that. If you're good, you'll be okay. People will recognize you. People will take the time. They will value you. And if you're good, you'll be okay. That's really general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, money is staying money. So higher end concepts do have people that can participate in them. If they're smaller and a little more boutique, those places can exist. The middle is the problem. The middle where there is a sameness and there's no differentiation. So if you have a differentiated concept and you're in the middle, you're going to be way better off, kind of like service level, right?
Right.
But if you're in the middle, you have to be so price protective. But if you have differentiation, you're better off. And then there's always a market for, you know, like the super casual, the pop-ups, those things that are kind of, you know, once in a whiles that people can be successful at because they're pinpointed, targeted, pre-ordered, that type of thing. So by segment, really, I think the middle is fucked.
No, for sure.
And it's just, there's, you know, if you have the same, and we have the same shit on a menu that a lot of other places do, but we deliver in a different way.
Right.
So that our differentiation and the way our service is or the way we treat people or whatever helps our food be even better and vice versa, right? So we have that for us. And it's also like a cuisine everybody finds comfort in.
Right.
But, you know, the middle is going to be a tough haul because, you know, burger joints, they're everywhere. Even pizza joints are everywhere. You know, it's tough. And it's not necessarily one thing. It's a multitude of factors. So if we were looking at it being like COVID, that was one thing that obviously decimated it. But now that we're out of that, you know, the food cost is out of control. There is a lot of financial pressure put on businesses to pay for social features.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones paying the taxes that get us all the things that we're affording for the people in the state of Minnesota. And we're paying for it, and it's not upfront. It's not necessarily completely recognized that way. That program you got, I pay for. And I'm okay with it, but also the pressure on a business to take care of that for society is really a tough call. It's a really tough call.
Yes.
And then, anytime there's increase in whatever food costs or whatever, the state always, the prices go up, you're charging more. The state always ends up getting more money. The government ends up getting more money. It just keeps growing. Yeah. It's tough.
It is a tough thing. What, in your opinion?
And the ice machine broke.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's $5,000.
Exactly. Yeah. No way around it. In your opinion, what breaks first in a restaurant? The money, the staff, the owner, or the belief?
What breaks first?
Mm-hmm.
The money, the staff, the owner. What's it just?
Or the belief?
Oh, fuck. If you don't believe, you're done. And you never should have opened in the first place. Get the hell out of town. Because you're going to just, that commitment. And I don't mean you need to go all the way down, but, be honest with yourself. If you don't believe in this thing, you won't be able to sell it.
Yes.
You won't be able to get help with it. And if you don't believe, I think that's probably it. Want me to rank them? And then money, because people don't plan enough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have enough to plan enough. The risk is not always worth the reward. The owner, definitely a huge factor, right? Because everybody's like, one of the most visible owners. So sometimes it's only about the money. So that, like what are the beliefs of the owner, and are they actually what's on the ground?
Yeah.
Kind of like that orders, maybe.
No, that's great. That's great. What do you want people to say about the rooms that you've built well after they're gone?
Just that it felt like a place they always wanted to go back to.
Yeah, I guess that's the biggest compliment you can be paid, right?
Yeah. I want to go back there. I miss it.
Absolutely. What's one lesson younger operators should learn or can learn from someone like yourself without having to bleed for it?
Well, I'm bleeding for the fact that I didn't grow up in a real technology forward era. Yeah. And that my brain doesn't necessarily work in that vein very well anyway, the way I'm formed.
Yeah.
Or deformed. So I'm catching up on the things that I think are necessary that I know for the rest of my career. And I'm jumping ahead to AI tools, and I'm early on kind of understanding it, but I am jumping ahead to using some of those things because it allows my brain, I can spit out what my brain is saying and have it be
give you some extra bandwidth, yeah.
And I need help, if I'm being honest. So, being in the numbers, the know of the numbers, and then understanding that when you close the office door, the numbers don't matter when you're on the floor.
Yeah, facts. Here's the other thing I'll say to that about being, pre-Michael J. Fox's internet. The soft skills that an operator has that, if shit went left right now, breaking out the crash kit with the old credit card slider thing that kids have never seen in their life, they would shut down.
Yeah.
You would kick into another gear like, okay, we know how to salvage this. Most people who don't who
You got a pen and paper, dog?
Yeah, exactly.
I can take the same information. You can sign it. We can make a contract on this guest receipt right here. I don't have a problem.
Here's the thing. That connection wouldn't even happen. That would be the last thing they would think. They can write it down. Holy shit, I can write it. Yeah. Pen and paper never goes out of style.
Yeah, no,
never goes out of style.
You're not leaving here without paying.
That's for damn
sure. Fret it. You might get a little discount because I charge you for tax or something. We're not messing with that number right now. But I still pay the tax, but I'll take that.
Absolutely. What does Tim Niver still want to build?
I just don't want to ruin what I built. I feel like there's been it takes maintenance to kind of, remain relevant, do something that's, still within the vein of excellence that you consider for yourself. I think we're always building and maintaining our reputation and finding ways to become a better human. So honestly, if I'm not working on myself and building a better me, then I'm doing it wrong. And that's really all I should care about. It's just building me, into like a better person. Not that there's something like majorly wrong, but it's just, continue to do the things I believe in and doing the right way and be the right guy for others. As I get older, I feel like I could lose my filter a little bit, and I just want to make sure that I'm understanding people younger than me. I just want to build myself. I think that's really all you can do is like take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, you ain't doing shit for anybody else.
Absolutely. Great point. All right, before I let you go, we're going to jump into a segment that I call...
Where are we going?
The lightning round. Okay? The lightning round, I'm going to ask you some questions, and they're quick fire questions. You tell me the first thing that kicks into your mind. This is going to be viral.
I hope so. I hope I'm that.
No, you're that. All right. All right. Dish you wish people respected more.
Who? What?
Dish you wish people respected more.
I don't understand the question.
Name one dish you think that people should respect more.
Roast chicken.
Okay, great. One Twin Cities restaurant that deserves way more love than it gets.
True Chow.
Okay. Most underrated thing in restaurants right now.
Feeling considered.
This feels a lot like Family Feud right now.
Is that wrong?
In the with the fast money round. Okay, all right, yeah. One thing every chef should understand about the front of the house.
One thing?
Yeah. Yes, just one.
We want to work with you.
Do you really?
Yeah. We want to work with you. We want to work with you.
We want to.
Well, okay, there. We need to want to work with you.
That's more like it. Somewhere in there is the truth.
Okay, we're developing this.
There we go. There you go. Okay. What's your shift drink of choice?
Tequila.
Ooh.
No wheels.
No wheels. Heard. Okay. I got a follow-up question. And this is the end all questions. If we brought you back on this show 5 years from now, what's the restaurant prediction you're making today that everyone thinks you're crazy for?
That we'll fucking survive.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
We will fucking survive. We will not let go. We will not let go. It is an impossibility. A human has to do this job.
Yeah.
A human will be doing this job. People need this. It's social. It's exchanging values in the same room without knowing somebody who's next to you exchanging their values. You know, like it's one of the only common spaces where people get together and kind of share space and do something that's necessary for their bodies.
Absolutely.
It's not going nowhere.
Agreed. All right. Tell everyone listening to the sound of our lovely voices and they can see our pretty faces. Tell everyone where they can follow you and get in touch with the universe that is Niver.
Yeah, sure. Well, I am Tim at Tim_Niver on Instagram and also at Niverland, my podcast. Those are the best places to reach me. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're all over the place with the podcast. Or just hit me up at the restaurant because I'm actually there.
Yeah.
A little less right now because I'm doing something else to support the fam, but you'll feel me when you walk in. Let me know.
Absolutely.
And reach out.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk some shit.
Yeah.
We can talk some
That's
shit.
That's a fact. If you like or got any value from content like this, please like, comment, share, tag Niver. He loves all the shit. Listen again, I appreciate you all out there. This has been the Taste Music Here Food Podcast Show. I'm Ed Porter. Till next time, peace.
This is dope. Thank you.
Thank you.